I'm not here to speak badly of her performance. I think this was kind of ill-conceived from the beginning. I agree that the ordinances need work. That doesn't invalidate them. I am more than willing to sit down, but it's a process that's not going to be done in 3 months,
That's true.
okay? So really, you set her up with a timeline that was not gonna work in the beginning. And when I tried to explain that to her, she knew the problem in doing so. She quoted back to me what the law requires, okay? And that's why you have standing committees to do this. I have no problem doing what I'm paid to do, okay? I did it with Tim when we went through the police ordinances, you know, the police department title. And we sat down and went through it, and yeah, a lot of that needed cleaning up. We've done that. That's done. You work periodically right through from beginning to end. You go through it. What's working? Is there a state law that covers this? Do we need something more specific? Go through methodically and get it done. And each time you complete a title, submit it to the council. You have it for first reading. You have everybody in the audience.
Right.
You know, you have members of the community sitting on the committee, but it's not a matter of going through and getting the public's okay before you even submit it for first reading. So you have a first reading, then the following month you have the second reading. Between the first and second meeting, you take into account what's been said, you put it on back on for first reading. If there are helpful suggestions, you adopt those and you put it back on for first reading, and it's a process.
Right.
Then when you get to your zoning, it's required by law to have a public hearing
Yes.
before
Yes.
you even submit it to the council for first reading. That's what the law requires.
Right.
If the committee's willing to work, let's come in and do it once a month, not once a week. And then don't put it on for public hearing after that. I think that really, but I'm willing to sit down and do
Confusing,
it.
is it? Yeah.
The reason I couldn't meet every week. I couldn't come over here and do it every week.
Right.
So all I was asking is before it's submitted to the council for first reading, I review it for legality. But what it turned out to be is I proposed changes, all these changes to titles 1 through 3. Got all those. I think she submitted a
1
draft
through
of that
3.
to the council.
Yep,
There
she did.
wasn't anything more than the proposed changes I'd made.
Right.
I don't know if
And-
you guys had reviewed them.
We had, in that one, we had, I think, 3 or 4 suggestions, and
Yeah.
that was it, and then they were discussed, we researched it. A couple of them we wiped off because we found out other information, and then the other 2 we suggested to you, and I think we were able to put those in there, and then it was submitted.
And I don't.
So we're pretty much ready to.
We're ready to submit titles 1 through 3 to the
Yes.
council
Right.
for first reading,
Yeah.
okay? And I can do that. Move on 4, it's gonna bog down a little bit because I was gonna recommend, and I recommended to Audrey that you start with 4, which is your public works, and you divide it a little bit. Because right now you have everything consolidated into that, and I think it works better if you separate a different part and put it later. Just understand, I've been through it, I'm willing to do it, and you don't pay me $1,200 a month to do it,
I know.
okay?
I know. And I will say that I think that because Audrey was so adamant about getting everything done by the 1st of February, she more or less kind of set herself up for that too. And she,
No,
Originally, if I'm not mistaken, Audrey, we were talking about a 6-month deal to do it in 6 months, which may be more or less realistic.
It's still in the voluntary position, not what we were paying her for. We were paying her for working here, not for
yeah.
Because I'm
Well,
thinking
over
we
the
were paying her
ordinances.
for to do the work.
any more than we pay you guys. What did we pay you guys?
No.
But she was heading up the thing. I
Well,
believe
she's
she
heading
was.
it up because it's a voluntary position. We did not hire her to pay her for those meetings. That was not on the job description. To see what she could find in the back room, get them ready for it, organize that back there, websites. That, the rest of that is voluntary.
I think you fall
Can
into
continue.
a can of worms if you're going to pay her to do, I mean, me and Elton, we spent months
Yeah.
doing the other deal, and, I mean, I spent gas money, I spent time,
You'd
I
have to
spent
pay 'em all
research
for it.
time, you know, and I did it as a volunteer. I didn't expect to, and that's how it was signed up.
That's what she signed up for on the other.
I think you kind of wind up in this, you know, most towns it is a voluntary type deal.
The only thing we should be looking at now is whether or not the extended work contract or not.
See,
And
I never saw a contract, I don't know what,
we
she
just
was
voted
hired to
to sign her for a 3 months
Right,
contract.
to end it February first.
but what was the job
She gave-
description?
Yeah, she gave me job description, and I can't remember what it was.
See, I don't even know how it came about, I was meeting with
kind of
them,
loose
arranging to meet with them.
Expectations.
Yeah.
List of
Kind of a loose
expectations.
deal of just help in the office.
Oh, I thought it was specifically to go over your ordinances, redraft your
That's what
ordinances.
she said.
Mhm.
She told me it was for the ordinances. She did not say it was for the office.
Potential tasks for the contract labor, records, organized, review town ordinances, town website, employee handbook. In no particular order of importance or urgency. Potential tasks. Well, I think
I think if you got your
the
stuff,
contract is done,
you went through your back room, your jail cell, you,
you let it go.
I did all that myself. Nobody helped me with that. Okay, so I need a motion
For what?
For what?
to either extend or
No,
not.
We don't need to vote to end her.
it's already expired.
It's already
Contract's
expired.
Okay,
So
Okay.
if we don't have a motion to extend, that thing's done,
okay,
right?
right. So, do we have a motion to extend?